So people in OB, as you probably know by now, are celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the OB Pier, which is the longest concrete pier on the West Coast. Really big.
Oh,
opened on this, here it is.
Is this the actual footage of when they opened?
This is the footage
pier?
in 1966.
Look at this. I love this. Good find.
Yes, good find. And originally it was opened just specifically for fishing. Look at the styles. Look at, they had the Queen out there and everything.
Gosh, there are thousands of people out there.
Is that Dave Scott? No, could be. I thought it was Dave Scott.
I guess the original name was the San Diego Fishing Pier.
Well, it still is.
They still call it that?
Yeah, in fact, it's on the gate. Yeah, it's the fishing pier. The Ocean Beach Fishing Pier is what they call it.
See, I just know it as the OB Pier.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't go down there that often. But look at that. When they were building.
What a job. What an amazing job.
Yeah, the longest concrete pier on the West Coast, still today. So how long is it?
It is
Might you ask?
1,971 feet.
Wow.
And that's not including the cuts to the left and the cuts to the right.
Right.
The one to the left is 360 feet, and the one to the right is about 190. So you add those, and you got it's a nice walk.
I love this, and I'm loving
this
the
old
footage.
video. Isn't this amazing? From 1966. So Allie is down there right now, 50 years later. Fast forward, July 2nd, 2016. The party's on.
Yes.
Hey,
the
Allie.
party is on.
And Dan and Liz, you have to pay attention because I have a very special guest.
All right.
I have Leonard here, who was a big part of building the pier. He's 88 years old, and he is here today. I told him today is your day, Leonard.
That's right. Thank you.
Now, tell me, so you were part of the construction group who decided to go and build this?
Our company built it.
Yeah.
Teyssier & Teyssier, Inc.
Yes.
And we had a crew of about 12 men that built the entire pier in a year.
Built the entire pier in a year.
That's about right.
That must have gone by like that. You must have been working long days.
Well, they just worked the tide a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting project.
I would imagine a very interesting project, and then one side is longer than the other side, right?
That's because the citizens of Ocean Beach independently raised $100,000 to get the pier extended, and we extended the south wing. And when you see the south wing down there, it's longer than the north wing, and that additional distance was about 4.5 bays, which about by the individuals that contributed the money for the extension. Otherwise, the pier was financed by the city of San Diego and by the state of California. And that's why we had the dedication with the Governor Brown here on the same date.
50 years ago.
February.
Yeah. It would be 50 years ago, July 2nd, yeah?
That's right.
Now, what is your best memory of being here and building this? You said it feels like yesterday.
The important thing to me was that the citizens liked the job so much that they raised $100,000 of private money to build an extension to the pier.
That must have just warmed your heart to know you were doing good work.
Yes, and that the people of Ocean Beach appreciated the pier so much that they would provide that private financing in addition to the city and state money that was spent on the pier.
Now, when you were working on it, did you realize how iconic this would become? I mean, there's so many pictures, so many things, and to think that you were here building it, that's got to blow your mind away.
It's very interesting. We didn't think of it that way. We were just doing our job.
Yeah. Is that cool when you see pictures of it now? Does it bring back memories?
Well, yes, I have a vivid memory of it.
Yeah.
Because it was an unusual pier being built in rough water. So the conventional tools that the contractors used didn't work here. You couldn't bring in a big barge with a big crane on it and the like. So I had to design the tools and equipment that we used to build the pier. And of course we started at the shore and built outward, in contrast with the typical way piers are built. They build outward into the shore.
Interesting. Interesting. So it's got to be one of your more interesting projects that you ever completed.
Certainly is.
Certainly is. And I would think that today is just such a special day. You're going to have your whole family down here today.
That's right. Our family's coming down to help us celebrate the 50th anniversary of the pier.
Wow, that is so special. What do you think was the hardest part? You said a little bit about it, but for you mentally, did you think that that you were gonna be able to make that deadline? Was that the hardest part, was making that?
Well, one difficult part was when the tsunami came and washed out 3 of the 6 piers that were supporting the crane and equipment. And we had to salvage that, and then the pier was redesigned to slope upward. You'll notice the pier slopes down to that break down here in the water.
Interesting.
The engineer that designed the pier designed it based on the water depth in the winter time.
Oh.
And actually in the summertime, and when the winter came in, it took 4 foot of sand out, and the height of the water became deeper, and of course the depth of the water determines the height of the wave.
Right.
And so unexpectedly, the pier was too low and getting lower.
Oh.
So the pier was designed, and that's why you see a break in the pier when you look out at the pier from the distance. And then we increased the elevation above the water in proportion to the depth of the water as we went out.
That is very cool. Leonard, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. What an honor to meet you and to know a little more history behind the beautiful pier here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, isn't Leonard just wonderful at 88 years old? Today is his day. One of the contractors who was a part of building this beautiful pier that so many people walk on every single day. Guys, back over to you.
What a fascinating story. And he had to actually create the tool. Let me get one thing clear before you go, though. Did he say 12 guys built this pier in a year? Did he say 12?
12 guys, right? Just 12.
About 12 on the crew.
12 on the crew.
We were the general contractors. We were the only contractors, except for our subs.
Yes.
Yeah, you were the only company.
12 guys in 1 year.
Yeah,
That's a lot of work
you
for 1
imagine?
year, Leonard. I'm not joking. I don't know if you ever slept.
well, some of it was built off-site. Like the panels and the piers were precast off-site.
Okay.
And
But essentially, 12 guys
12
right
dudes
here.
assembled it.
Built the whole pier.
12 dudes assembled it.
Can you imagine that happening today? You know, 12 guys in a year. It would take 1,000 guys 10 years in today's government. Wow. Unbelievable.
Well,
No, seriously.
thank him for the vision, the talent. I mean, he had to think and create some of the tools to try
Just to build the thing.
build the pier.
That's
So,
unbelievable.
Mr. Leonard, thank you.
We thank him.